This is Fairy Tale Story D and F. This is a little bit different. D and F are together because it deals with characters D, which is Queen Daffodil, King Dewberry, and F, Foxglove and Forsythia. E will fall after this. So, Part 1. Hello, I'm Daffodil, and I'm a fairy queen. I love to talk and sit in the daffodils. My king is Dewberry. He likes to sit in the sun all day drinking Dewberry wine. He doesn't talk much. He says that's because I talk too much and I don't give him time to open his pie hole. And I say if he puts the wine down, maybe I would let him talk. When I said that, off he went to his room with a bottle in his hand. I don't know what to do with him. He just started drinking this year. It all started when we went on a trip to see the ocean. I didn't like the salt water and all that hot sand. I mean, what's with all that hot sand? Dewberry would find a clamshell and soak up the hot sun and love the moon on the ocean. He would be gone for hours, then days. I would go looking for him, but wouldn't find him anywhere. I just don't know where he was that whole time, and that made me upset, I tell you. When he showed up, I yelled at him for going off like he did. He looked so sad when I yelled at him, and he started crying, and the next day is when he picked up the bottle. I was thinking maybe when we go back home, he would act like his old self, but no. He still drinks and looks sad. I would love to help him if I could, so I put a note in a bottle, hoping someone could help me. Dear friend, who finds this note, I need a little help, please. My beloved is unhappy and I don't know why. He was at the ocean off of Scotland. If anyone can help me, then please do. His name is Dewberry. You can reach me at Hill City, Queen Daffodil. Part 2. Dewberry's side of it. I know Daffodil worries about me a lot and I want to be happy with her again. But I don't know if I can be happy here. I try, I really do, but it's no good. Years ago, Daffodil was sweet, but as years went by, she became more and more like her aunt, and in her eyes, I became less smart, and she pushed me away. I don't think she knows she does this to me. She doesn't want children. She says they would get in her way, but I would love to have children. She yells and yells, and I'm so lonely here. I don't know what I did before we went on the trip. She says I started acting sad after the trip, but it started years before. She nagged and I was pushed away, and she became cold toward me. We went on the trip hoping to become happy once again. I was so happy there, alone and peaceful, going on walks, meeting new fairies, but then I had to go back to her and home. I missed the cove fairies very much. If I could only go back there and never come back here. But that is just a pipe dream. She'll never let me go there again, and you know she acts so sweet to all but me. I wish I could be at the cove. I believe she no longer loves me. Guess we will have to see what happens. Part 3. Foxglove's Diary. January 17th. Oh, Queen Daffodil is so sweet. I try to hide my feelings for her. After all, I'm only the butler here. I'm sure she doesn't see me. She makes my heart skip beats when I see her. If only I was a duke or lord, but no, I'm a lonely butler in love with a queen. March 8th. Oh, my heart, she smiled at me. March 20th. I asked her lady's maid if the queen is okay. The queen acts sad. March 25th. Her lady's maid told me that she picked up a book and a piece of paper fell out, and the maid wrote down what was on the note for me to read, and this is it. What am I going to do, Aunt? I shouldn't smile at him, but he seems so happy when I smile at him, and he's so handsome, but he's the butler. April 2nd. I smile at her all the time. I can't help it anymore. It just happens. May 15th. She put her hand in mine today when going out the door, and she smiled and winked. May 17th. She asked me to sit and talk to her today, so I sat down and we had a long talk about this and that. July 5th. In the AM. She hasn't smiled or looked at me since we sat down to talk. What have I done to upset her? PM. Her lady's maid said the Queen had a reply from her aunt and that she will write it down for me. July 6th. This is it, the reply. What are you thinking? You are a queen. Stop acting like a young schoolgirl. He's a butler. He's a nobody. Stop, or I will tell Dewberry of this. So I guess the dream has died, and now I'm just as sad. July 13th. They are going on a trip. I'm not to go. Guess she is trying to forget me, but I can't forget her. July 31st. Off they went, and I'm the only one here at the castle. October 19th. They are back. The king looks very unhappy. My queen has changed more. She's still unhappy, but now she seems more lonely. Her lady maid said the trip didn't help like the queen's aunt believed it would. She said she believes the queen no longer loves the king. October 20th. The king is drinking a lot and the queen is mad. November 14th. Boy, she's mad at him today. She's getting mean when it comes to him. I'll not be writing anymore. My queen is sad and mad, and I fear this diary might be seen. Part 4. Forsythia. I'm just a fairy and had a lonely life at the cove. My dad and mom passed on when I was little as we were flying over this cove. I was only 5. One minute they were there and the next they were gone. I was alone till I was 17. That's when a lot of fairies moved here. Their queen had been killed by a cat that moved into their garden, so they packed up and moved here. They made me the queen because I knew so much about the cove, and when I turned 24, I fell in love. But he couldn't stay here with me, and he went home. He wasn't free. He had a wife. Later on, I was walking on the beach when I saw a fairy-sized bottle with a note from a queen at Hill City. Hill City. That was his hometown. I spent many sleepless nights thinking about what to do. Then one day, I sent 2 letters to Hill City. And another pretty picture. You can see that. Dear Dewberry, she has sent a letter to the cove asking about you. My dear Dewberry, I love you and miss you so. I know you can't love me back, but I'll never stop loving you. I didn't know what to do, but in the end, I sent her a letter also. By now, she has it. Sorry if I did the wrong thing by sending these letters, but I had to let you know I still love you and to warn you of her letter. Please forgive me, my beloved Forsythia. Dear Queen Daffodil, hello, I'm the Queen of the Cove. I found your letter. I know you're King Dewberry. One day he walked into the cove town. We all liked him and made him feel at home here. He was happy here and wanted to stay, but went home when you did. He was very unhappy to be going home. See, he fell in love when he was here, and she fell in love with him. She has been sad and lonely since he went home. She wishes he was still here and misses him so much. She told me to tell you she's sorry if she has made you mad by saying this. Part 5. Back at Hill City Castle. Dewberry, come here now. What is it, my queen? So you fell in love, did you? Sorry. Say what, my queen? You heard me. Do you miss her? Well, yes, I love her very much, if you must know. So I see, Dewberry. What do you see? You never see the true me. Then please, let us be happy. How, my queen? We will never be happy together. I know that, but you love her, and I love him. What? Who? Foxglove. Foxglove? The butler? You're joking me. Yes, Dewberry, the butler. It was my aunt that made me stay with you. The trip was to help me love you, but it didn't help. I still love him. I have tried also, Daffodil, but I can't forget her. Then let's be happy, Dewberry. We know we can be happy, and we know how and with who. Part 6. Foxglove's Diary. January 30th. The Queen and King are no longer together. The King moved out, and the Queen loves me. Me. We are to be married February 1st, then go to Dewberry's wedding in March. And they all lived happily ever after. And that was written by Rebecca Hillhouse, July 31st, 2018. And we will be back next time with Fairy Tale Letter E.